Marvel just keeps going. What If also released a sizzle reel at the Disney investors meeting with some pretty interesting footage, actually. While this doesn't seem to be canon necessarily, it is still really fascinating to see what they're coming up with in this series. So let's talk about the footage that we saw from the sizzle reel of What If. If you haven't subscribed, then please make sure to do so. And again, like I've been saying in all my breakdown videos from Marvel, there is just way too much to cover from the Marvel investors meeting panel. And so I'm going to be covering it all on episode 2 of my podcast Marvel Mania right here on the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel. If you want to check out in-depth breakdowns of every single piece of news that Marvel announced at their investors meeting panel, then check out the episode that comes out in just a little bit. And without further ado, let's get into the sizzle reel. So What If is a show that I wasn't necessarily too interested in until I started to see more and more, and then got interested less from the Marvel side and more from the creative storytelling side. As you guys may have seen from the channel, I do enjoy speculating and thinking about different possibilities of what could have happened. I made a video about what if the other half of the MCU had dusted, and I'm going to be making more of those what if videos moving on. And they were loosely based on this concept of what if, which is in itself not an original concept, obviously. People can speculate all they want. But I love how Marvel is beginning to branch out into this multiverse, as I do believe Phase 4 and Phase 5 and beyond are going to be leading into what they're going to call the multiverse saga. And so we got some footage. It's some new footage, and it's interesting, at least. Now, right off the bat, I will say I am not the biggest fan of the animation style. I understand the appeal of it being a little bit more hand-drawn. That being said, Marvel does lend itself a little bit more to 3D animation, I feel like. And I understand the roots of being a comic book series first, and maybe wanting to make it look more like a comic book. I get that. But as I watched this little sizzle reel, I felt like some of the motion of the characters was a little bit stilted. Like the way that they were moving their mouths when they were talking was a little odd to me. I'm sure I'm going to get used to it as soon as I watch first episode, but still, something to note. And aside from that, we actually didn't get a lot that we already didn't know. They've been really hammering the Steve and Peggy one. Like Peggy becoming Captain America, that's a big one that they've been using at all of their events when they've been talking about What If. That's the one they always go to first. And it was cool to see. But, you know, we've seen a lot of it before. We also again saw the zombie shot with Bucky and Cap. A pretty cool concept, I guess. And of course, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, we did get to see that iteration of him as Star-Lord, which again, I think is a really original and cool concept. We got to see his interactions as a boy with Michael Rooker's Yondu. Pretty cool. And yes, finally at the end, we did get some shots of Doctor Strange fighting himself. Could be interesting, I suppose. But actually, there was one shot that really interested me, and something that they haven't talked about at all, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I did catch a still image, so here it is. And this immediately caught my attention because, is that Loki? And is he the king of Asgard? What is going on in this picture? This picture actually really intrigues me, not gonna lie. I think this is probably one of the most fascinating things about the entire sizzle reel, I'm gonna be honest, because all the other things we basically did know about, and again, there are going to be 10 episodes, 10 different concepts across all 23 movies is what they've been saying. So I think they're hiding a lot from us, which is good, because I don't want to know some of the concepts before I'm seeing them. We know the zombie Cap one, Peggy being Captain America, Doctor Strange, I guess, fighting someone himself, T'Challa and Star-Lord, but then there's this interesting Loki one that nobody's really talked about, and I think it's really interesting. I can't wait to see what they do with this. So overall, the What If sizzle reel was fun, and I think Jeffrey Wright is a great voice to be the Watcher. And while I don't think this is going to be my favorite MCU project ever, I do think that when it's going on, I'm going to be having a ton of fun with it, although probably not talking about it for long after it happens. But still, it looks fun. And it's definitely a show they can do for seasons and seasons and seasons. There's so many opportunities for this kind of stuff. So what did you guys think of the What If sizzle reel? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, stay tuned for Marvel Mania Episode 2, where we're going to talk in depth about everything that happened at the Disney Investors Meeting. Stay tuned. If you want to check out some more videos, check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.